How Bruce Lee died? He died in somebody's house. Yeah, that's everybody knows. He died in somebody's house. My boss go to pick him up.
In martial arts history, two names shine brighter than the rest: Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. But behind the fame and attractions of Hollywood lies a dark and mysterious chapter that has long haunted the legacy of one of these legends. And in a rare and deeply personal conversation, Jackie Chan recently opened up about the true situation surrounding Bruce Lee's death. Were the two legends friends? What secrets did the martial arts icon reveal? Join us as we unravel the true situation surrounding Bruce Lee's death and what you're not being told. Exploring the bond between Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Before Jackie Chan became famous for his daring stunts and funny personality, he was just a regular fan, like many others, watching Bruce Lee on the big screen. Bruce Lee's amazing martial arts skills and confidence left a big impression on young Jackie, inspiring him to follow a similar path. Little did he know that their destinies would become intertwined in ways he couldn't even imagine. Jackie's journey didn't start in the spotlight, though. He began behind the scenes, working as a stuntman. This was his chance to learn everything he could from experienced professionals, soaking up every bit of knowledge like a sponge. Fate brought him to the sets of two of Bruce Lee's most famous movies, Fist of Fury and the legendary Enter the Dragon. But it wasn't easy for Jackie. In the competitive world of Hong Kong cinema, he faced tough challenges. Established stunt coordinators often had close relationships with directors, making it hard for newcomers like Jackie to break in. Even after impressing with his work on action sequences for director John Woo, Jackie struggled to find steady work. Desperate to make ends meet, he had to swallow his pride and accept a less glamorous job offer from a former colleague who needed help on a project. Despite the challenges, Jackie's determination and willingness to learn eventually paid off, leading him on the path to becoming the iconic action star we know today. Jackie agreed to go back to his roots as a stuntman, taking on a double role for a Japanese actor in the movie Fist of Fury. This might have seemed like a small job at the time, but it ended up being a very important moment in Jackie's life. In a 1997 interview, Jackie Chan talked about Bruce Lee with great admiration. He was not only impressed by Lee's amazing martial arts skills, but also by his confident attitude and his ability to speak English fluently. At that time, Bruce Lee was like a superhero in Hong Kong, and Jackie wasn't the only one who looked up to him. But what struck a chord with young Jackie was the way Bruce Lee treated stuntmen. Unlike many other actors who saw them as just extras, Bruce Lee treated them as equals. He would chat with them on set, share meals with them, and even help pay for their medical bills if they got hurt. This level of respect and kindness made a big impact on Jackie, showing him that even in a world of fame and talent, treating people with respect and compassion is very important. This insight into Bruce Lee's character became a valuable lesson for Jackie, one that he carried with him throughout his successful career in the film industry. Before Bruce Lee burst onto the scene, kung fu movies had been around for a while, mostly in China, but they hadn't caught on worldwide. Then, in 1971, everything changed with the release of The Big Boss. Bruce Lee exploded onto the screen with his lightning-fast punches and kicks, captivating audiences everywhere with his incredible talent as a martial artist. People were amazed by his speed, power, and sheer charisma. It wasn't just about the action. Bruce Lee brought emotion and depth to his fights, turning them into an art form. Bruce Lee became a global sensation, and over the next few years, he starred in 4 more films, each one adding to his legend. Tragically, he passed away unexpectedly during the filming of Game of Death. However, his most famous film, Enter the Dragon, was released after his death, solidifying his status as a cinema legend. It was on the set of Enter the Dragon that Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan crossed paths in a memorable, albeit unexpected way. At the time, Jackie Chan was just a young stuntman, far from the superstar he would later become, while Bruce Lee was already a global icon. During one scene, Chan found himself facing off against Lee's character, and there was an accidental casualty. Lee unintentionally struck Chan across the face with his nunchucks, but despite the incident, Lee continued with the scene like a true professional. As soon as the camera stopped rolling, Bruce Lee rushed over to Jackie Chan, genuinely concerned and offering his apologies. Chan, overwhelmed by the attention from his idol, jokingly exaggerated the impact of the hit, enjoying the brief interaction with the star he admired so much. This seemingly small incident sparked something unexpected. Bruce Lee, impressed by Jackie's dedication and quick thinking, started noticing him around the set. What began as a brief apology turned into friendly chats, and Lee even began requesting Jackie for more stunt work in Enter the Dragon. This was a big moment for young Jackie. Not only did it solidify his place in the film industry, but it also earned him the respect and trust of a martial arts legend. This whole incident showed Bruce Lee's ability to recognize talent and appreciate genuine effort, even from someone who was considered just another nameless stuntman at the time. The legend's final hours. On a pleasant summer morning in Hong Kong on July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee woke up full of vitality and excitement, ready to take on the day. Despite warnings from his friend Al, he brushed off any concerns and embarked on a busy schedule filled with meetings to discuss his upcoming film projects with producers. After a fruitful day of brainstorming and creative discussions, Lee decided to spend some time with his good friend Betty Ting Pei. What began as a casual afternoon visit soon took a tragic turn that nobody could have foreseen. By nightfall, the man who had captivated audiences worldwide with his lightning-fast martial arts moves and profound reasonable insights was found lifeless on a mattress. This sudden and unexpected event followed a worrying incident months earlier when Lee had collapsed. A visit to Hong Kong Baptist Hospital revealed a troubling diagnosis: cerebral edema, also known as brain swelling, caused by a buildup of fluid putting pressure on his brain. Despite his larger-than-life persona on screen and his unparalleled mastery of martial arts, Lee's health condition remained uncertain. The medication prescribed by doctors aimed to manage the swelling, but the future for the iconic star was far from certain. Bruce Lee never pretended to be invincible. He openly admitted his limitations, reminding everyone that underneath his amazing skills, he was just a regular human being like everyone else. This honesty and openness only made his fans love him even more. So when Bruce Lee tragically passed away at the young age of 32, it sent shockwaves through the martial arts world and beyond. Despite his outward appearance of strength and motivation, his sudden death left many fans puzzled and heartbroken. The official explanation for Bruce Lee's death was a mystery to many. The autopsy revealed no signs of foul play or external injuries. Instead, it showed that his brain had swollen by a significant 133%, caused by a buildup of excess fluid within his skull. The official cause of death was attributed to a hypersensitivity reaction to a medication called Equagesic, which was given to him by his friend Betty Ting Pei on the day he passed away. However, this explanation didn't fully satisfy the fans, and speculation and whispers continued to swirl around the circumstances of his death. Some people doubted the role of the medication in Bruce Lee's death, while others came up with more doubtful ideas. Fans, still shocked by the news, desperately searched for explanations beyond what officials had said. Rumors began to spread about a possible connection between Lee and his friend, actress Betty Ting Pei, and soon fingers were pointed at her. Some stories suggested that Betty had given Lee the medication that led to his death, sparking wild accusations of deliberate poisoning. These accusations are often linked to rumors of a romantic relationship between the two. Some people even claimed that Lee had planned to end things with Betty, and in a fit of jealousy and revenge, she had taken drastic action. However, there was no solid evidence to support these claims, and they painted a complex and emotionally charged picture. As rumors about Betty Ting Pei's involvement in Bruce Lee's death grew louder, they began to have real-world consequences. In Kuala Lumpur, students, fueled by these rumors, took to the streets, shouting accusations that Betty had killed Bruce. In Hong Kong, the rumors took a darker turn as threatening claims began to surface. Some people suggested that a contract had been put out to harm Betty Ting Pei, adding to the tension in the city. Things came to a head in early August 1973 when an alarming bomb threat shook the community. In a public square, a suspicious package covered in Chinese writing was found. The message on it was chilling. Betty Ting knows the cause of Bruce Lee's death. Thankfully, upon closer inspection, the bomb turned out to be a prank, containing nothing but refuse. However, the sense of relief was short-lived. Over the following weeks, 3 more fake bombs were discovered around the city, each accompanied by unsettling messages like, "Revenge for Bruce Lee." The shadow behind Bruce Lee's downfall. Bruce Lee's unexpected passing put the British colonial government in a tough spot. While they could usually brush off rumors about celebrities, bomb threats demanded serious attention to reassure the public and spread belief. Thereafter, a thorough investigation was launched to uncover the truth behind Lee's death. However, the official inquiry encountered difficulty as experts couldn't agree on the cause of his death. Although the autopsy showed swelling in Lee's brain, the reason behind it remained a mystery. Initially, some doctors suspected that the marijuana Lee had consumed might have been responsible. Yet, upon closer examination of the evidence, experts dismissed this theory since marijuana was unlikely to cause such swelling. Stuck in their investigation, authorities sought the expertise of Dr. Donald Tier, a highly experienced legal scientist from London. Having analyzed over 1,000 autopsies, Dr. Tier proposed a new theory. He suggested that Bruce Lee might have suffered a severe allergic reaction to aspirin, leading to a life-threatening condition known as anaphylactic shock. The government had no other option but to accept the official explanation of an allergic reaction to aspirin, despite the lack of stronger evidence. However, this explanation didn't sit well with Bruce Lee's fans. They found it hard to believe that Lee, who had taken aspirin without any issues for years, could suddenly have a severe allergic reaction to it. Furthermore, doubts arose about the specific nature of the proposed reaction, anaphylaxis. This severe allergic reaction typically comes with distinct symptoms, such as swelling of the throat, difficulty breathing, red and itchy skin, and inflammation around the mouth. In severe cases, the throat can swell shut, blocking airways and leading to suffocation and brain swelling. However, none of these warning signs were present in Lee's case. His autopsy revealed no signs of such a reaction, casting further doubt on the aspirin theory. As doubts about the official explanation continued to swirl, some fans began to explore darker possibilities. One theory suggested that Betty Ting Pei may have been involved, not as the sole perpetrator, but as a potential pawn in a larger conspiracy. Speculation arose that she could have been hired by powerful triad gangs to eliminate Bruce Lee. Although this claim lacked concrete evidence, it gained traction due to past incidents linking Lee with the triads. Firstly, Bruce Lee had previous encounters with the triads, including a confrontation during his youth with the son of a local gang leader. Even though years had passed, this association fueled speculation that the triads could have been involved in his death. Secondly, rumors circulated that Lee had refused to pay protection money to triads on his film sets. If true, this supposed refusal could have made him a target for retaliation, leading some to believe that the triads orchestrated his death as punishment. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, these theories gained traction among some circles. Another line of speculation pointed towards mainland Chinese gangs as potential culprits. This theory suggested that Lee's rising popularity posed a threat to the dominance of Mandarin language cinema. Concerned about their financial investments in Mandarin films, these gangs might have seen Lee's elimination as a way to protect their interests and maintain control over the film industry. Additionally, there was speculation about a vendetta from traditional kung fu masters against Bruce Lee. They may have felt threatened by his revolutionary approach to martial arts and sought to eliminate him to preserve their status and traditions. Another interesting yet unproven theory surrounding Bruce Lee's death revolves around a potential conflict with traditional kung fu masters. This speculation focuses on Lee's choice to teach his martial arts skills to foreign students, particularly Americans. This practice, which went against certain traditional teachings, supposedly created tension with some kung fu masters. According to this theory, Lee's defiance of these traditional rules may have sparked retaliation. Some even suggested that he could have been attacked by a master who utilized the legendary dim mak technique, also known as the touch of death. This technique allegedly involved striking specific pressure points to inflict delayed fatal injuries. While this theory remains firmly in the realm of conspiracy, Lee's decision to train foreigners did stir up debate in Hong Kong. American martial artist Chuck Norris had to publicly deny rumors that Lee had taught him kung fu, highlighting the prevalence of such discussions at the time. This added fuel to the belief that kung fu masters may have targeted Lee in response to his unusual teaching methods. In a crucial event that took place in 1964 in Oakland's Chinatown, Bruce Lee found himself in a tense private fight with Wong Jackman. Wong was a highly skilled martial artist, trained directly by Ma Kin-feng, a respected master of multiple styles like Xing Yi Quan Northern Shaolin and Tai Chi. According to Lee's account, tensions were rising within the Chinese community regarding his decision to teach martial arts to non-Chinese students. Despite being urged to stop, Lee refused, prompting Wong to challenge him to a fight. The stakes were high. If Lee lost, he would have to shut down his school. But if he won, he could continue teaching people of all backgrounds. While Bruce Lee claimed that the fight arose from pressure to stop teaching non-Chinese students, Wong Jackman offered a different perspective. According to Wong, Lee's own words during a performance in San Francisco's Chinatown Theater sparked the confrontation. Allegedly, Lee declared that he could defeat any martial artist in the city, which led Wong to challenge him, not out of bias against non-Chinese students, including white individuals, but seemingly out of a desire to seriously injure him. Wong recounted an incident where he offered a traditional handshake to Lee, which Lee accepted. However, he claimed that Lee then unexpectedly attacked him with a spear-like motion aimed at his eyes. Fearing for his safety and the potential legal consequences of causing serious harm, Wong declared that he avoided using lethal strikes. Instead, he claimed to have defended himself using hidden cufflinks concealed under his sleeves. In contrast, Lee and some witnesses insist that the fight lasted only 3 minutes and ended with a clear victory for Lee. However, this narrative becomes further complicated by Michael Dorgan's 1980 book, Bruce Lee's Toughest Fight, which suggests a different conclusion. Dorgan proposes that the fight did not end with a decisive blow, but rather due to Lee simply tiring himself out. The rise of Jackie Chan. Following Bruce Lee's untimely death in 1973, the Hong Kong film industry mourned the loss of a true icon. With his captivating presence and unparalleled martial arts prowess, Lee had left an irreplaceable void. Filmmakers were desperate to find someone who could fill his shoes and capture audiences' hearts as he did. Among the contenders, a young Jackie Chan caught their attention. Chan had spent years honing his skills through grueling stunt work, displaying both talent and dedication. However, the pressure to mimic Lee's style weighed heavily on him. Filmmakers demanded that he emulate Lee's every move and expression, turning him into a mere imitation. But Chan knew he couldn't simply replicate Lee. His style, characterized by grounded kicks and a different flow, didn't align with Lee's signature high kicks. He faced an internal conflict between conforming to expectations and staying true to himself. The turning point came before filming Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, when Chan approached film producer Run Run Shaw with conviction. He pleaded for creative freedom, arguing that mimicking Lee would not do justice to his unique skills and personality. Impressed by Chan's passion and vision, Shaw agreed to let him carve his path in the martial arts world. And so, Jackie Chan embarked on a journey to establish himself as a martial arts legend in his own right, paving the way for a new era in Hong Kong cinema. Jackie Chan found himself facing a tough challenge when he was cast in movies like New Fist of Fury and Shaolin Wooden Men. His task was to portray Bruce Lee's fighting style and behavior, but unfortunately, these films didn't echo with audiences. In his autobiography, Jackie Chan candidly admitted that these movies were failures at the box office. Viewers were unconvinced by his attempts to mimic Lee's style, and the films lacked the charisma that made Bruce Lee so captivating. However, everything changed with Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. This marked a turning point for Jackie Chan. Finally given the creative freedom he yearned for, he abandoned the forced representation and embraced his unique style. Jackie blended kung fu with acrobatics and comedy, creating an enchanting and entertaining fusion that audiences adored. By following his instincts and staying true to himself, Jackie Chan emerged not as a replacement for Bruce Lee, but as a legend in his own right, establishing his place in cinematic history. On a different note, Jackie Chan once shared a thought-provoking belief about Bruce Lee's tragic death, suggesting that there may have been more to it than meets the eye. He talked about Bruce Lee's journey to fame in Hong Kong, where the martial arts legend faced constant rumors and high expectations. People always pushed him to live up to an almost legendary image, heightening his abilities and creating impossible standards for him to meet. They pushed him too hard, always demanding more. Jackie Chan remembered how simple feats became excessive. It started with claims about his punching power, with some saying he could punch with incredible force. 100 pounds, then 700 pounds. The stories got even more unbelievable, painting Lee as someone who could shatter walls with a single punch. Chan believed that this relentless pressure to be a superhero ultimately took a toll on Lee. It wasn't just about the physical demands, it was also the constant burden of meeting unrealistic expectations and the need to fulfill an impossible image. Chan emphasized that this was a valuable lesson he learned, to avoid chasing an impossible superhero image and to focus on being himself. The enduring legacy of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's passing in 1973 marked the end of an era, but it also signaled the dawn of a legacy that stretched far beyond borders, disciplines, and generations. His impact on martial arts cinema and popular culture is immeasurable, transforming him from a mere celebrity to an enduring icon embodying strength, wisdom, and perseverance. Lee's philosophy and martial arts approach sparked a revolution, reshaping the landscape of martial arts forever. Before him, martial arts were often viewed through a lens of tradition and formality, confined to specific styles and schools. However, Lee's introduction of Jeet Kune Do, a philosophy advocating the style of no style, urged martial artists to break free from these traditional constraints. He encouraged a more fluid, adaptable approach to combat and self-expression. His emphasis on practicality, efficiency, and personal expression inspired countless practitioners to explore and innovate. This, in turn, paved the way for the evolution of mixed martial arts and other hybrid styles that dominate today's martial arts scene, in both cinema and real-world practice. Bruce Lee's legacy continues to inspire and influence martial artists worldwide, leaving an indelible mark on the art and culture of combat. Lee's impact was revolutionary. He was one of the first to bring real martial arts to Hollywood, showing off the beauty, complexity, and excitement of these disciplines on the big screen. But he wasn't just a fighter. He was also a captivating actor who brought passion and depth to his roles. By doing so, he shattered stereotypes and pushed back against the way Asian characters were typically portrayed in the industry. His films, like Enter the Dragon and Fist of Fury, weren't just popular. They were blockbusters that set the stage for future stars and filmmakers, including Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and Donnie Yen. But beyond his physical skills and cinematic success, Lee's philosophical teachings left a lasting impact on fans and followers. His writings and interviews, filled with wisdom from both Eastern and Western sources, spoke to people's universal quest for self-discovery, personal excellence, and harmony. Phrases like "be like water" have transcended their martial arts origins to inspire individuals from all walks of life, from athletes to entrepreneurs to artists and activists. Lee's persona remains a cultural icon, as evidenced by the countless documentaries, biopics, and tributes that continue to emerge, as well as the video games, comic books, and merchandise bearing his likeness. His legacy continues to inspire new generations, reminding us of the adaptability and resilience needed to overcome challenges in life. The Bruce Lee Foundation, named in honor of the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee, is dedicated to spreading his beliefs and ideas through various educational and social programs. These initiatives aim to ensure that Lee's teachings on martial arts, personal growth, and cultural harmony remain relevant and impactful. Bruce Lee was known for his innovative approach to physical fitness, which combined elements from bodybuilding, boxing, and different martial arts disciplines. His workout routines emphasized flexibility, strength, and endurance, setting him ahead of his time. Today, fitness enthusiasts around the world study and emulate his training methods, recognizing him as a trailblazer in holistic physical development. But perhaps the most significant aspect of Lee's legacy lies in his philosophical contributions to martial arts. He viewed it not just as a physical discipline, but as a way of life. His teachings emphasized the importance of personal expression, adaptability, and the integration of mind, body, and spirit. These principles continue to inspire not only martial artists, but also individuals seeking a balanced and purposeful existence. The influence of martial arts in global culture and digital world. Bruce Lee's impact is felt throughout various aspects of popular culture worldwide. His iconic status, captivating persona, and profound philosophical insights have served as sources of inspiration for a wide range of cultural expressions, spanning from fashion and music to literature and digital media. Lee's distinctive style, epitomized by his famous yellow tracksuit and skillful use of nunchucks, has become emblematic of coolness and rebellion. Fashion brands have drawn inspiration from his unique attire, creating collections that pay tribute to Lee's aesthetic. Musicians across different genres have referenced Lee in their work, using his name and persona to evoke themes of strength, mastery, and resilience. In particular, hip-hop artists have celebrated his influence, drawing parallels between his fight against oppression and the struggles depicted in their music. Lee's philosophy of fluidity and adaptability resonates deeply with the creative process of music making him a frequent subject in lyrical narratives. His enduring legacy continues to inspire and shape cultural expressions across the globe. Bruce Lee has made a significant mark in video games and digital media, with his iconic fighting style and attire inspiring characters in various fighting game franchises. These characters not only bear his likeness, but also embody his martial arts philosophy, encouraging players to embrace principles like adaptability and direct action. Moreover, the digital realm has become a hub for Bruce Lee enthusiasts, where fans and practitioners come together to share their passion for his teachings and legacy. Through online communities, they explore his philosophies and techniques, connecting with like-minded individuals from around the world. In addition to video games, Bruce Lee has also made appearances in graphic novels and comic books, where his life is depicted with a blend of fact and fiction. These narratives often delve into his martial arts prowess, cultural impact, and philosophical insights, adding a mythical dimension to his story. Furthermore, numerous biographies have been written about Bruce Lee, analyzing his life, work, and the profound wisdom found in his writings and sayings. Through these works, his insights are made accessible to a wider audience, extending beyond his films. Bruce Lee's impact on movies and TV still echoes strongly in how martial arts and Asian figures are shown. Many filmmakers and actors look up to him as a big inspiration, aiming to copy his strength, charm, and depth in what they do. Documentaries and films about his life dig deeper into who he was, giving younger generations a peek into the person beyond the myth. His influence isn't just in the spotlight, it's also in how Asians are depicted in Western media, breaking stereotypes and embracing diversity. But perhaps his most significant legacy is how he changed the way people see and practice martial arts worldwide. His idea of Jeet Kune Do motivated countless individuals to see martial arts as more than just fighting. It became a journey of self-discovery. Martial arts studios everywhere now teach not just techniques, but also his philosophy, emphasizing the importance of expressing oneself through martial arts. What are your thoughts on Jackie Chan's revelations? Let us have your opinions in the comments below.